my stepbrother was molesting us. And I believe that he was spreading it around, to be honest with you. You know, in hindsight, thinking about it, he was molested. I think he was trying to try my brother, too, who was a year older than me. However, my brother wasn't as tolerant of it. And my sister was, if I was 9, she was 11.
Okay.
And I am certain that there was some things going on there too, with all 3 of us.
Okay.
So never really talked to my sister about it because my sister was, when she got old enough, she married and left. My mother allowed it. My mother was the kind of mother that, you know, you 15, 16 years old, you can get married.
Okay.
She would let.
She was old school.
Oh, my mom was old school. Yeah. So, but anyway, during my time of molestation, when I finally got the courage to tell my parents that I was being molested, they didn't really do anything.
Like, what do you mean?
I mean, they didn't, you know, and I don't blame them for not doing anything because,
but we judge it by our standards today, right?
I can't hold them responsible for not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, there had to be something that you wanted.
I wanted them to kill him.
No, really. I mean, 9, 10,
you know,
whatever, beat
him with a belt.
Yeah, this guy's been terrorizing.
Whatever you do to us for running through the house. Do something. I know he's 18, 19 years old, but beat him.
Yeah, do something.
Do something.
Yeah, do something.
You know what I'm saying?
Protect me, yeah.
Now, I think that, you know, the embarrassment was so much for him that maybe I think 3 to 6 months he moved out.
Okay.
You know, but
so they did confront him about it.
But baby, I don't know. There was nothing visible that I saw.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he didn't mess with us anymore, so they had to say something because once he knew that they were aware, then he didn't do it anymore.
But here's the thing, man. You still, as a kid, got to live in this house and see your victimizer every day and act like everything is normal?
Well, you know, I was in fear for a little while after I told because I didn't know what he was going to do. You know, not that I was scared of him, but.
But did he ever hit you with that? You better not tell?
No.
Okay.
He never spoke. Yeah. When he would come in and molest us, he would never say anything. And if we caught him, he would just jump up and walk out. Silence. Silence.
So at that time, growing up, there was some frustration, anger, disappointment towards your parents as a child. Like, are y'all gonna do something? Y'all not gonna spank him?
When I was
So
when I was younger.
how'd you navigate through that during that time?
God, man, it was really, you know, God taught me forgiveness. God taught me how to forgive the proper way. You know, my wife still says to this day, she's like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you forgive people that you know ain't your friends. You know, or I said, you know, at the end of the day, I can't hold people responsible for stuff they don't really know and that they don't know no better than. You know, if your behavior, you don't really know no better than that, why am I going to hold that against you? Now, if it's toxic in my life, I'm going to keep you away from me.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Right. That don't mean we got to have a relationship.
That don't mean we got to have a relationship.
Just because I forgave you. Right.
Yeah. That just mean I forgive you. And it is what it is, you know, but you can keep that toxic, you know, energy over there.
Did you have to see him later on, even as you got older in life, 18, 19,
I actually
20?
confronted him when I got older. When I was in my, I'm going to say I was in my 20s. And I called him.
Now, why then?
Because I was trying to purge myself.
Okay.
Of things that haunted me from my past. Okay. And I was going through a course called Ancient Paths from Overflow Ministries, where I used to attend.
Okay.
And so I did what they told me to do. I confronted him.
Okay.
And
what did he say?
He didn't say much of anything. He didn't have much of anything to say, not really.
Now, so this course you went through, it prepared you for this type of thing?
It prepared me for it.
So you were prepared for him to either not say nothing or whatever he might say, you were already prepared for that?
Or say he didn't do it, or I was prepared for anything.
Okay, all right.
You know, at that particular point, because he never really acknowledged that he did it.
Okay. Now keep in mind,
as if it wasn't me.
This is Tony's. This is Tony's story. So some of y'all listening think, oh, okay, I'm gonna call up my, abuser to no.
Don't do that.
He went through a whole course and then walked him through this process. So don't just jump out there.
Yeah, and there's a book called Ancient Paths that you can get.
Okay.
And it'll take you through some processes, but that was in ministry, being taught it in a ministry setting helped me a lot too. So when I confronted him, he really wasn't verbal about it or anything. He accepted me forgiving him, and
he received that.
Received that,
okay.
and then we hung out probably a night or two later. I hung out with him.
So what was the feeling that you had that you knew you had to release that from him? When you're going down a path to say, I'm purging myself and letting stuff go, was it the feeling of, this is still on me, or what feeling were you walking around with?
Well, when I don't know if other men would talk about it or say anything about it, but when you've been molested, for a time after being molested, you wonder if you're going to be gay.
Okay.
And
so you're a sexual, what is it called? Is it identity?
Yeah, it was being challenged at that time, but I knew that I wasn't attracted to men.
Okay.
However, the taboo of it was, if a man is messing with you, you might be gay, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't really share it with anybody. My brother and I knew about it, and we talked about it because it was happening to him too.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't penetrate us or anything of that nature. He was just fumbling and climb on top of us and hump.
Yeah.
It was just that kind of stuff. Or he'd pull his private parts out and lay on us.
Okay.
That kind of stuff. But he didn't really do the penetrating. He didn't penetrate us or anything of that nature.
Right.
Thank God. So, it was just for me, that experience, I was angry at him.
Right.
And it affected me sexually, even in my relationships with women, because I didn't want them to touch me on my private part. I didn't like for them to give me oral sex, and so that affected my relationships to some degree.
Okay.
When I was growing up, so I had to get through that. Past that,
so that makes sense.
And trust a woman to be able to touch me in that way. So forth and so on. So
that's what I was asking. Part of the anger, part of the what was going on sexually. Yeah. I'm like, it had to be some remnant of what this was and this feeling of what you like. I got to get this. That's why you go to him and talk to him about it, because I need that. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
So that portion of it for me was really about releasing all of those isms off of my life.
Yeah.
All of those things that were kind of hanging around, and don't touch me now. And I'm like, why am I?
Right.
Why am I tripping like that?
So it's like, because he did the crime, but you was doing the time.
Right.
Oh,
yeah. And so I had to eventually release myself from prison.
Yeah.
So to say.
Yeah.
Or get me a date that I was going to get out.
What am I getting parole?
Right.
Yeah. And you did feel that.
I did.
That's dope.
I did. I felt free and released.
Yeah.
Because I really didn't want him to say anything. I really didn't. I wanted him to know.
Want him or need him?
I didn't need him to.
Okay. Yeah.
And I wanted him to understand.
Yeah.
I needed him to understand that he violated me.
Yeah.
And that I'm aware of it in my head.
Okay. Yeah.
And I remember what you did to me as a child.
Yeah.
And I forgive you.
Yeah.
I forgive you.
So you taking your power back.
Take my power back.
Yeah. That's great, man.